Straight up now, tell me, are you really gonna love me forever? Or am I caught in a hit and run? Welcome to the weekend show with Mediumjay. Today, I want David Goggins' soul. I witnessed a post on social media from Goggins himself stating that he refuses to believe that any man on social media claiming to talk about another man's life or struggle is not truly a man himself. This sweeping insult, this is a sweeping insult that insults the vast men across every nation that feel slighted and got online and talked about their injustices. In that same breath, he even called them bitches. Now, I took that personally. In ancient times, we looked to comedians to poke fun and even some holes, metaphorically speaking, in traditional morals and values that most common men find unjust. Unfortunately, David Goggins positioned himself as an uncommon man. And I am in the self-proclaimed realm of a common man. I'm medium. A common man fighting for the unjustifications across all life forms. David, you spend most of your mid-20s eating to the point where now your life has been a constant succession of running away from what you were born into. I want your soul, little one. I was sure of myself since birth. I didn't need to wake up in a late haze in my 30s and realize my health is an important factor in life. I don't need to wait till I'm in my late 40s to find out stretching is vital to my core strength. Dummy. I don't need a white man to help me write my stories. I need motivation from saying I need motivation from haters is where I walk and talk. It's just silence when I do it. I, much like many natives of the land, believe that words or another man's actions have real-world consequences. So with that, Goggins, I bind my soul to yours, for as long as we are both living, we will share the same fruit that bears forgiveness on all our mortal enemies. If you shall die before I will take your soul and give you true freedom, one that will make your little bouts with the Navy or any fire department or any other little corporation that fed you the carrot on a stick appeal look like and feel like BS. If I shall die before you, my soul is yours to exorcise all the demons that wrong you. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. This is my cross to bear. I know it's unfair. You are much older than me. So I would formally accept any fight to the death in any arena over international waters. I'm also willing to agree to a fair fight. That being said, I know niggas. So gunning me down in the streets is not off limits. Anything goes in this realm. This is the paper straw that not only broke the camel's back, but also ruined the shepherd's drink that he once so truly enjoyed. And trust me, I say this with words of kindness. I mean no ill will. Once your soul is mine, I will show you a touch of the divine, a prerequisite into an escape from your self-inflicted hell you wreck day to day. No man who truly is satisfied with himself runs till his knees give out. No one man calls his own voice in his head his inner bitch, like he's battling with schizophrenia, unless he truly believes it. And no one man can lead his people to the promised land while under the shackles of oppression himself. White people threw you a bone and you wagged your tail and you never stopped running. Me, I'm a little bit different. I don't believe that the indulgence of anyone's pleasure is predicated on whether that man is a bitch or not. If a guy eats cheesecake or a pizza at the end of his shift at work, the hours he put in are not then reliant on how he chooses to allocate his said free time. David, you crossed the line. So far, that your soul is on that said line. So, I choose to live your life repeatedly, running from the true inhibitions you will be running forever. No. Kind of ruined that. Your soul is set on the line. So I choose to live your life, repeatedly running from the true inhibitions that you will be running forever, like a gazelle being stalked by a ravenous pack of coyotes, who in theory are weaker and smaller, but vastly, and I mean this, vastly, outnumber the wildebeest. You ran far enough to find a chance at divinity, David Goggins. Do nothing and you may dine with the gods at Mount Olympus, but challenging me will end your life. You are ahead of me in years and experience, but what I lack in physicality, I excel in endgame planning and forethought. I had dreams about this very moment. One man, no matter how righteous his actions, is still subject to the same laws that plague our mortal universe. The moment you, David Goggins, ran your own mouth and refused to mention who said men were in of itself is an act of cowardice, and shall suffice to the circumstances beyond any one man's control. There's a tornado brought forth by laws in our own physical world that will be untold. For you opened up Pandora's box and said, who's gonna carry the boats? Whilst mocking every man unable to carry an oar or a paddle, or just simply the boat's creator. Niggas don't understand. Mankind, along with said boats, don't just go back into the box. It's impossible to get back into. And assured mutual respect for each other. So go on, Joe Rogan, and discuss your own self-proclaimed mental victories of inflicting damage on your body for no other reason other than to stay hard. Train day by day till you're old and gray. Hop on social media and brag about how you have the no-quitter mentality. You bled like I bled. You bleed like I bleed. The God complex is a burden to bear, along with your hypothetical boats. No matter how far a man can run, he cannot outrun a gun. No matter how hard he is, a sword can pierce his skin. No matter how loved he feels, he can still die from the love within his own shield. So put down your running shoes and pick up some sandals and come walk with me. You might not like where I take you though, for we have a treacherous road ahead. I'm willing to risk my entire longevity on the simple fact a man can't run forever. One day he will have to walk through the pearly gates or be brought back to this realm again and run his eternity through the same fates over and over again, over and over again. Ever wonder why white society denies Egyptian deities? It's because the Egyptians were able to move stones in a way that the Western civilizations still argue about till this day. This is a mental stone you can't easily run from, David. A place between a rock and a hard situation we find ourselves in. Deny this existence will bring untold consequences. Acknowledge it and apologize for your actions, and the gods may forgive you. I heard the Egyptian gods are generous ones. This, I'd like to remind everybody, this is a comedy podcast, so take my words with the same annotation you do with many of the other social media haters. It's kind of funny, right? An old ancient curse that plagues you and your loved ones slowly and methodically to the point of insanity because a less than 1 minute social media post that you said, it's a little bit ironic. And that irony may be lost on many, but this podcast is for one soul. David Goggins. I only want one view on this. Anything else is a blessing, I guess. And anything else is just bear witness to what may happen. I will carry out with great vengeance on them and punish them in my wrath. Then they will know that I am the Lord when I take vengeance on them. Ezekiel 25:17. Sounds familiar? An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. In that same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:16. David, you've been running for so long from your demons. Why not take a walk with God? Mediumjay 2024. One day, when you are at your weakest moment and fear sets in and you realize the snakes in the grass are coming to hither you away, a touch of fear may flow through you. But fear not, I seek no long drawn out pain. I want your soul to be saved and delivered to the highest form of elevated state, one where you don't have to run. For love is just one step away from a hug. I love you, David Goggins, but your own self-inflicted ego as a no-nonsense Navy recruiter is lost on the majority of people who simply enjoy life too much to risk it day to day. I am forward-thinking and believe we shall support all of the creatures on this blue and green earth, while at the same time allowing freedoms of speech for every animal, intelligent or not. We don't yell at the dogs for barking or scream at birds for chirping. So why lay heed to the waste on social media talking? For one man's shit post is another man's viral moment, right? Life is fragile. We are malleable. We give and take, but in the end, we all fall into the same earth that birthed us. Maybe that's why aliens haven't visited us in a long time, because we're still fighting online. Oh well. I am prepared to die. The question is, David Goggins, can you outrun the divine? This was an artist's poem, meant it's no legal threat. It was an art piece I titled The Bully Who Runs From Himself. My lawyer would also want me to advise that no threats or real criminal action would ever be pursued in any kind of interaction with real life David Goggins, as this is just a poem of a dream I decided to parody into a podcast for comedic and dramatic effect. I am Medium. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, like and subscribe, guys. I also got a new song coming out soon. I'm gonna record it this Sunday. Like I do every Sunday, I record. Well, every time I record, I do it on a Sunday. The song's called Raoul. It's for my buddy Taylor. It's his little dog, Raoul. And it's coming on the way, along with the Medium pill, coming hopefully this year if things go right. That's been the weekend show with Mediumjay. It's the shortest podcast ever, second edition, man. Part 2. Let's keep it going. We got an actual podcast we'll probably do tomorrow. This is just a poem that I felt like I needed to share.